Disclaimer, much of the commentary in this tournament was recorded over 4 years ago and may not be up to date or reflect current quality standards. You have been warned.
The moment has arrived. It's time to see 50 competitors take on the course for the third time ever. Will anyone, against all odds, be the first person to conquer this course? It's time to go down to the first stage and see our competitors give it all they've got. Let's get started with our first run of the tournament. His name is Sebstein. He has broken ground on other Minecraft comps, but this is his rookie performance, so let's see how he does. And he's off, he's taking on the quad steps, and he gets through it with ease, but now this obstacle has never been attempted before. It's all new. Can he catch the rope? Oh, but he won't! And just like that, he is the first person to fail this brand new obstacle. Oh, and there he goes. Our next competitor is joined by a very special guest. That's right, our next competitor, Grey Cheese, is joined by the one, the only, Makoto Nagano. So let's see how he does. And he starts his run on the first stage. Slow approach on the quad steps, but gets through it anyway. Now onto the flying rope. Sebstein just fails us. Oh, but he gets a close catch, but he survives. Onto the modified fishbone. This is much different from last tournament. It always moves, so that means there's no telling which cycle you will be on when you get to the obstacle. But it looks like he's scoping it out, taking a very methodical approach here. Gets suffocated by the bone, but he survives. Now onto the new monster box. Oh, but he completely botches the trampoline jump, and just like that, he is the first victim of the monster box. Very unfortunate end to his rookie performance. Welcome back to SASUKE Minecraft! For the third time, we will see 50 competitors from all across the world attempt a near insurmountable task. Storm the tower and take it down. This, of course, will be easier said than done, as no one has been successful so far. As the sun dawns on the jungle once again, it's time to see our athletes' effort to take down the towering monolith that stands behind the first 3 stages. Our next competitor is Are You Mexican? Now, if you don't recognize this guy, his original username was Ninjas for the Win 69. Oh, and he's doing my little Ninjas Warrior entrance. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's see how he does. He's off on the quad steps. Now, the keyhole is not here this time around, so to get a new personal best, he will have to beat this obstacle. Well, this obstacle's a lot harder. He catches the rope though. Oh no! Ah! It looked like he had it on the rope, but it seems that the rope outran him and his run ended right then and there.
After that, we saw 4 more competitors take on the course. Mr. Maxwell James, our first 1.1 fail of the tournament. Brainish, big fan of the course, crashed into a bone on Fishbone. Memes player, good friend of mine, also bailed on the quad steps. And finally, Loose Moose tried to do a bank turn on the flying rope and paid for it.
Up next is Ostout8, who in the last tournament failed on the very first obstacle. Now, provided that he gets past it, it can only go up from here, so let's see if he can get some revenge here. So onto the quad steps. Oh, that was a sketchy jump, but he manages to save it. And now it can only go up from here on the flying rope. Can he catch the rope? No, he will not. That being said, that still is a personal best. Up next is Hyam Galactic, who bought Minecraft just to run this comp and also owns a comp of his own named SASUKE Galaxy, I believe. So props to him. Oh, I'm not sure I like this though. Spending a lot of time on that third step. Spending a lot more time here than I'd like to see. 15 seconds have already passed. But now onto the flying rope. This has already been a ninja killer. And he becomes yet another victim. Completely misses the rope. Well, I guess that's what happens when you switch from mobile to PC.
After that, we saw two Acid Craft competitors fail on the Fishbone. First was Milesef, I believe it's pronounced. And then Training Light 12 failed in rather spectacular fashion, not even making the first jump.
Our last Acid Craft wildcard is McGroogly. Now, I believe he placed the best out of our wildcards. We'll see if that will make a difference here. Onto the quad steps, taking a decent approach. Who hesitates a little bit, but still has a decent amount of time left, obviously. Onto the flying rope, and he catches it. Well done. And now onto the Fishbone. We've barely seen anyone get through it since number 2, I believe. He's waiting his time, trying to see when the time is right. It starts, and it seems that he'll be good to go. And he's through. It seems his pace is good, but I'd like to see him go faster, and he gets through Monster Box. Oh my goodness. He's on pace to clear, perhaps. Now he needs to get through this, though. This obstacle's tricky. No! Oh, McGroogly. He had such a good run going, but it all comes crashing down on the half-pipe attack. Up next is Static Lime, who's actually performed pretty well in Bedrock competitions, but this is Java, so it should be interesting to see what goes on in this run. He's through the quad steps, and now onto the flying rope. And can he catch it? Oh, but he jumps too late. The rope had already gone too far, and by the time he jumped, it was just too late. Our next competitor is 57390232671398868. Of course, now would be a good time to say, do not make your username a random assortment of numbers. Oh, that's a little bit of a false start. But anyway, they're off. Last time they failed the keyhole. If they want a new personal best, now would be the time to beat this obstacle. Catches the rope. Oh, goes too high, and it does not help them by any means. And just like that, they're down on the flying rope. Up next is... No, I'm not reading that. You can read it for yourself. But, interesting name. Probably one of the more interesting names. Oh! Oh! He runs away like a coward! He didn't even want to take on the course. He just wanted to run to the buzzer and act like that was a legit run. Oh! Oh my goodness. Incredible. Oh, what's happening? Oh my god, his brain implodes! Ah, so sad. Anyway, our next athlete is Robotic Ninja Bros, who seems to be getting a back slap from Bowsy Pie, who will be running later in this tournament. Let's see how a person with a default skin will do. Oh, he's false starting. Yeah, that's a thing that kind of happened a lot in this tournament. That'll be fixed next time. But anyway, he's through the quad steps with ease. Now onto the flying rope. Waiting his time. And he catches the rope. Well done. Now onto the monster box, which he beats with ease. Now onto the half-pipe attack. No one's beaten this today. Come on, will he be the first? Oh, but he walks down and it doesn't work. Ah, so close, yet so far. A good performance from the Alex skin, but he will not be moving on.
After Robotics' great run, we saw Blue Tides take on the course. Tried to do a bank turn as well on the flying rope. Didn't really work. Then we had Faith and Plays, another Alex skin. Not nearly as good as Robotic though. Got caught up on the fishbone. And then this guy nearly ran out the clock on the second obstacle. The Klaxon was going and everything.
Up next is Strafe Helix, who is definitely looking for a bit of revenge here after failing the keyhole last time around. Though I'm sure he's also well known for doing Halo 5 competitions, so let's see if he can put up a decent showing here. He's off onto the quad steps, beating it with relative ease. And now onto the flying rope, and he catches the rope comfortably, and he gets through it. Now onto the fishbone. We've seen many different attempts, but very few have gotten past it so far. And if all goes well, it looks like he'll be another competitor to get through it. And now onto the monster box, which he's successful with. Now onto the half pipe attack. He gets the mount. And now the transfer between chains. He gets it. Now for the dismount. And he's through. Now onto the warped wall with over 30 seconds left. He is the first person today to reach it. And he gets up it in one. Now for one last obstacle, the Calliope. No one's attempted it yet, but he will be the first, and it looks like, if all goes well, he will be the first clear! Wow, and in a performance unlike last time, he goes from failing the second obstacle in the last tournament to clearing in this tournament. With that said, Strafe will be moving on to the second stage for his first time. Very good job.
After Strafe's success, we had 3 Acid Craft competitors take on the course. 8 Blockin overran the flying rope, kind of a unique way to go out. Then we had Azurite, got caught up on the fishbone, cookie cutter way to go out. And then finally, the original Ryuk was a rare quad steps fail.
Up next is Juggenstein, who I would have low expectations for, if not for the fact that he was one of just a few competitors to clear the Acid Craft Ninja qualifiers. So, that being said, let's see if he will find some success here. And he's off. Ooh, already has a new personal best, as in the last tournament, he failed the first obstacle. But now, it can only go up from here, as he catches the flying rope, goes a little bit too high, but he saves it. Now onto the fishbone. This obstacle has proven to be very deadly so far. He seems to be scoping it out. Very well done. Now onto the monster box, which he gets over with ease. Now the half pipe attack. This is taking out a few other competitors, but he manages to make the mount. Now the transfer. He gets it. And now for the dismount, which he gets. Now onto the warped wall. Will he get up in one? Yes, he will! Now one more obstacle, the Calliope. Can he get through it? Times it a little bit late, but he should be good. Oh, it catches up, but he still clears! Well then, in a predicament not unlike Strafe Helix, he goes from early stage 1 to punching his ticket to stage 2. Good job, Jug. We will see you in the second stage. Our last athlete in the first half of this tournament is King of Me. Well, he placed first in the Acid Craft Ninja Challenge, finishing faster than anyone else. So will he prevail here? He's off on the quad steps, taking it with an interesting method. I'm not sure I like that, but he gets through it anyway. Now onto flying rope. Oh, he tried turning midway through, but on an obstacle like this, mistakes are not easily forgiven. And that is it for King of Me.
It's been 25 runs since we got this competition off the ground, and we have 2 competitors through the first stage to show for it. But let's not mosey on that for too long. We're gonna dive right back in to some stage 1 action.
Our next competitor is Yas. In the last tournament, he competed but failed the second obstacle, as is the case for many other competitors. However, while a bunch of them have failed at the same point, It's time to see if he can do any better. And he's off onto the quad steps, skipping a step. He's through nicely. Now onto the flying rope. Of course, to get a new personal best, he has to beat this. He sticks the rope. Oh, goes too high! Oh, but he gets it! And now onto the fishbone. Of course, this is proven to be a killer. I don't like the route he's taking, but he saves it. Making his way through. 50 seconds left. Oh, but he's waiting. He could have gone there. And he's eating into his time, but he goes, and he's safe. Now onto the monster box, which only one person has failed, and he's through. However, with 30 seconds left, I would like to see him go a little bit faster, as he makes it onto the half-pipe attack, turns around, hesitating a lot. That's not going to help his case at all. 20 seconds left going into the warped wall. He has to get up this in one to be secure. Oh, but he completely misses it. That's not going to help at all. The second attempt to have any chance. Oh, dude, no. Yas. He gets up it now, but he has no time left. How far can he get before the clock hits 0? Ah. Unfortunately, Yas spent too much time on the warped wall and the fishbone, which did not help him whatsoever, and a simple slip-up on the Calliope trying to rush his way through spills the end of his run. Up next is Bookcase, making his debut in SASUKE Minecraft. Now, a few people know him for competing in Roblox and Halo, however, of course, this is his first time in Minecraft. He's through the quad steps with relative ease, onto the flying rope. Goes a little bit late, but he catches it. He's through. Now time for the fishbone, which is so hard on its own. I don't like the path he's taken, though. And the damage stunts his jump. And that's it for Bookcase.
Following Bookcase, we had 2 more competitors, Bash Back 1, Cookie Cutter Fishbone Elimination, and then we had Big Man 0606 fall on the flying rope as his only asset trickled away from him.
Up next is Ambush 5889, and despite that name on the nameplate, I will always know him as Lava King 46, as was his name in the last 2 tournaments. However, despite being known as a Niwam veteran, he's had very meh performances in the past 2 tournaments. Can you do any better this time around? Let's find out. And he's... oh, okay. Let's just ignore that. Anyway, onto the flying rope. And he's caught it. Going a oh, he slips a little bit down, but he's safe. And onto the fishbone, immediately goes for it, and it does not pay off. No lava. He was off to a blazing start, but it was all for naught as he gets rejected by the second fishbone pillar. Our next competitor is Addison Judah, who's making his debut here, and also bought Minecraft just to compete, so special props to him, I suppose. Anyway, here he goes. Quad steps. A little bit slow, but it's okay. Now onto the flying rope. Of course, competitors have been dropping like flies on this obstacle. He catches the rope. He's going way too high, though. Oh, no. He didn't have any momentum going into that, and it rejects him off the course just like that.
After Judo, we saw 5 competitors take on the course. Ghost Killers, I mean, what did you expect? We started at the first obstacle. Bowling Boss Ninja failed the same obstacle he did in Tournament 1. Then Rage Lena, a newcomer, but same fail as Bowling. Then we had Suda Design, got completely rejected by that fishbone. And then Cubic Melons got pulverized by a bone.
Up next is Pokey Lucy, who is making his debut on SASUKE Minecraft. So can you do any better? And here he goes, onto the quad steps. He's handling it nicely and he's through. Now onto the flying rope. Will he be another victim of this obstacle? Catches the rope, but he's going too high. No, Pokey Lucy is out. No. And it was a perfect recreation of what happened in Addison's run to the fail. And that's it for Pokey Lucy. Our next competitor is Ruined Catalyst, who's making an explosive entrance onto the starting line. But anyway, yeah, if you don't know who this guy is, he is Shadow Miles XE, who last competed in Tournament 1 to little success as he failed the fishbone. However, this time the fishbone, it's like it's an entirely different obstacle this time. It's tearing up the field. But can he do good? He's off onto the quad steps, handling it very well. And now onto the flying rope. As you can see in the background, Grant's supporting him. But will that support help him? Now back on the fishbone. Once again, it's entirely different. Will he be able to handle it? No, he won't! And Shadow is out on the fishbone once again. Very unfortunate. Up next is Bowsy Pie. He's very well known for competing in Roblox comps, however this is his first appearance in Minecraft. So, as is the case for a lot of these Roblox competitors, let's see if he can put on a show here. And he's off, breezing through the quad steps here, and he's through. Now time for the flying rope. This has been very deadly, but he catches the rope, going a little bit high, but he lowers himself nicely. And now onto the fishbone. Of course, this has been very deadly as well. He's waiting. And he's going, making great progress. It looks like he's done his homework here on the fishbone. And he goes for the end and he's through. Now onto the monster box. And he's vaulted over and he's through. Now onto the half pipe attack. He's gotten onto that first chain, making the transfer, and he's about 10 seconds ahead of Yas's pace. Time's not going to be a worry if he can get up this warped wall in one attempt. And he's gotten it! Oh, he's struggling, but he's got it! Oh, he's struggling to climb over. He has 20 seconds left. If he can just get through this, he'll be fine. Oh, no! And Bowser is out on the Calliope when he least expected it. The fire creeps up on him and launches him off of contention. And just like that, Bowsy Pie is out at the last possible moment.
So we return back to the starting line. Still empty-handed ever since we surpassed the halfway point of the first stage. But with the 40s creeping up and the sun beginning to set, these are some of the best competitors the course has come to know. Can any of them conquer this tough stage 1? But kicking off the 40s is a newcomer, Micro MC. Though new to the course, he's been brought in by one of the top competitors, Dr. Peppers. Does he have the skills to pay the bills? He's on the move, facing the flying rope, a strong start. Waiting a little long though, and no! Micro MC has been undone. A rookie mistake takes out the rookie. Following that run is Rikiti. At the time, I believe he went by Hot Spice. Was also sent in by Dr. Peppers, but has significantly more natural talent under the wing. On the move goes Ricardo. Nice approach through the quad steps. This was where our last competitor went down and out. Up he goes nice and high, but maybe a little bit too high. Ricardo averting disaster, but don't celebrate too early. He's facing the fishbone here. One of two really tough obstacles. Gonna go for a jump, it seems. But no, he gets clipped by a bone. Ricardo, one of the many to go down on the fishbone. Bad luck. The first competitor to be going up who cleared in Tournament 2, Dr. Peppers. His two buddies failed before him, but maybe his goal is to avenge the both of them. Quickly through the quad steps, staring down the flying rope, but a nice approach, staying high but not too high, the Goldilocks height on the flying rope. And now the fishbone, he's done his homework here. He knows when he needs to move, and he goes quickly to that third pedestal. And a quick exit route as well, 45 seconds into the monster box, quickly up and over. The half pipe attack, he failed this back in Tournament 1. What's the move? Jumping as high as he can. And from chain to chain goes Dr. Peppers. 25 seconds, a nice pace, especially compounded now that he's up in 1. 20 seconds, the final obstacle, all that lays wake. And Dr. Peppers will clear stage 1 for his second time in a row. Incredible stuff from Dr. Peppers. Knew how to keep it up throughout that first stage run, and that will net him his second trip to stage 2. Following Dr. Pepper's success on stage 1, we saw skillful Jack 239 get clipped on the flying rope. Bana actually beat the fishbone, but that was rather short-lived. And then Axon, a former stage 1 finisher, had no such luck this time around. Up next, we have one of Tournament 2's strongest success stories, Fox News Reporter. In Tournament 1, he rather infamously failed the first obstacle, but in Tournament 2, he turned his career around, made it to stage 2, but has some redemption, some makeup work to do, because he came up short on the Shulker ladder. Oh, wow, Fox going uncomfortably high on that rope, but has the self-awareness to react as he waits for that fishbone to move into place. Nice timing from pedestal to pedestal. Gonna wait on that third one just a little bit. Of course, Fox does hold the stage 1 speed record, but I don't think he's got a shot at breaking that because it was 30 seconds. Anywho, makes it easily to the warped wall, and like clockwork, gonna make it up in 1. And with 21 seconds, he's just gotta stay smooth here, crouching where necessary, and Fox is going back to stage 2. With 16 seconds left, a strong performance out of Fox, and proving that his Tournament 2 efforts were no fluke. Rounding out stage 1 are our 4 competitors that made it to stage 3 in Tournament 2, and beginning that streak of competitors is Beats049. Formerly known as the Care Bear 09, he started his career in Tournament 1, where he fell on the half-pipe attack, but that was good enough to net him a top 10 finish. He capitalized on that success by clearing the first stage for his first time in Tournament 2 and making it, in the end, to the cliffhanger on stage 3. But we know his sights are set higher, so can he do it all this time around? Now, despite being named Beats049 or the Care Bear 09, I will always know him as Sawyer. That's just the name I associate with him as he catches the flying rope. Spot on! Here we go, the fishbone. Another one of the ninja killers of this tournament, crouching, waiting for his moment of reckoning. Moving strong here, quickly on the draw. And same strategy we saw with Fox, waiting on that third pillar. Does it nicely as he gets over the monster box. The half-pipe attack, the only stage 1 obstacle he fails, he full sends it! Incredible finesse out of Sawyer. And with 30 seconds coming and going, he sets foot onto the warped wall and climbs up it with a little crisscross technique. The Calliope, all that remains. Moving quickly, doesn't want to let the fire catch up, and Sawyer is going back to stage 2. With just under 14 seconds on the clock, Sawyer running far, far away. He's eager to take his shot at stage 2. Following Sawyer's clear is fellow former Ninja Warrior of Minecraft host ZZ Games YT. He failed one ledge later on the cliffhanger, but was still a cliffhanger fail nonetheless, placed joint second in the tournament overall. Xander wants to get back to stage 3, but first, he's got to get through this daunting stage 1. Great jump onto the rope, keeping himself as high as he can, while not staying too high. The fishbone though, this can trip up anyone. He's not going as fast as Fox or Sawyer were. That's okay. He is going to have to make up quite a bit of time though. Waiting on that second one as well, eating into quite a bit of time. Looks like he's just going to go for it, but there's a bone in his way! And Xander, the fishbone leaves him completely baffled. And Xander, sulking in the water pits as he digs himself into the void. Wow, what a shocking exit for our former Stage 3 competitor. Our penultimate run at number 49 is Asame Shimai, the runner-up of Tournament 2. He started out with humble beginnings in Minecraft SASUKE, but in the very first inaugural tournament, he stunned us all by achieving total victory. However, he couldn't keep the ball rolling. That was where tragedy struck in Tournament 2, where he failed the first obstacle of Stage 1. His Tournament 3 efforts weren't much better, different technique, but still fell back into the waters below on the first obstacle. Tournament 4, he made it past the first obstacle, but his victory was short-lived as he came up a cropper on the rolling log. While he was down on his luck, he found new life in SASUKE Minecraft, where he was able to make it all the way to Stage 3, where he fell on the cliffhanger. But this provides him room to grow and continue his success. So the question is, with John coming off an incredible run, can he continue his career with a bang? Or will his Stage 1 woes follow him from course to course? There's only one way to find out. And John, his second run on the course, up and away, skipping through the quad steps with ease. What's he gonna do on the flying rope? I'm not sure how I feel about this strategy. Waiting a little too long and he fails the flying rope! John is out on Stage 1 for his first time! Unbelievable! John, he just waited a little too long and it just drifted out of reach. John, we are all in utter disbelief. But I think he's just relieved that he didn't fall on the first obstacle. Very upsetting though. Our final competitor on Stage 1 is Perfugi. He first made his presence known on the Roblox Ninja scene, but it was his initial appearance on SASUKE Minecraft that really separated him from everyone else. In that tournament, he was one of 5 to clear the first stage, but it was his Stage 2 clear that cemented his name as one of the competitors to look out for in the following tournaments. In Tournament 2, he proved that effort was no fluke, as he went on to make it back to Stage 3, beat the obstacle he failed in Tournament 1, and make it to the final stage. The first competitor to ever do that on SASUKE Minecraft. Although he came up short on the shulker ladder, he has cemented himself as the strongest competitor in the early parts of this competition. All eyes are on Grant. Can he be the 6th person to clear today? Or will we see a shocking exit from this former finalist? Let's find out. Grant, we know how much pressure he's under. He was very nervous going into this tournament. He wanted to put his best foot forward, very cautious through the quad steps. We just saw John fail here. That was a little late, or perhaps lag. He goes a bit high, gets a little bit crisscrossed, but Grant survives. The fishbone. Nice technique here. And the tried and true technique there, sticking it on that third pedestal. The monster box, only 2 people failed. Grant will not be number 3. The half pipe attack cannot be overlooked. Does a little switchback maneuver to get onto the chains. And with 32 seconds, he's got plenty of time into the warped wall. Nice, up it in 1, and with 25 seconds, the only thing that stands in his path is a quick sprint across the Calliope, and with just under 19 seconds on the clock, Grant will round out the first stage, clear number 6. And at long last, stage 1 reaches its conclusion with the aforementioned 6 finishers. This includes Strafe Helix, Juggenstein, Dr. Peppers, Fox News reporter, Sawyer, and Grant, with the fastest time of the day. But we're not gonna linger on that for too long. Of course, for these 6 that remain, their journey is just getting started. We move into the second stage with only a few competitors left and with many changes across the stage. With a couple of modified threats to make it harder and one new obstacle in their path, will we see anyone make it to stage 3?
Honestly, not too many big expectations. Honestly wasn't really expecting to get through the first stage, but hopefully decent enough of the way through to call it a good tournament.
I'm pretty nervous, if I'm gonna be honest. If you see this obstacle behind me here, I've messed up on it numerous times. And there's also the first obstacle, which I've had some bad luck on. So I don't really want to have the quad steps incident from the last tournament.
I feel pretty okay. I don't really want to say confident because of what happened last tournament, but I feel better going into it this tournament than I did last tournament. I've been practicing all these obstacles, especially the circle ladder. I've been practicing that a lot. So I feel okay about stage 2.
I'm not the most confident going through this stage because considering this is the hardest hurdle, I'm definitely going to have to rush through this, which I don't do, and it concerns me a bit.
Anyway, no point in drawing this out any longer than need be. Amongst our field of 6 on this stage, 2 are here for their first time, and up first is Strafe Helix. We've seen a competitor or 2 make the jump between Roblox and Minecraft cohesively, but it's rare to see such a bond between Halo and Minecraft. Strafe Helix, the first of the day to take on the shulker ladder. A tough obstacle, but he's up it cleanly. But this obstacle, it's a first for everybody. The Skywinder. Not a lot of speed getting onto the pillar, but he can't keep his grip. Strafe Helix Cinderella story ends on the 3rd obstacle of stage 2. But we must trudge forth. That's not a great sight for our last new person in stage 2, Juggenstein. Went from failing the first obstacle to clearing in this tournament. Jug quickly through the broken catwalks, taking a zigzag approach. For the shulker ladder, it's a rookie killer, but Jug remains undeterred. Going down the elevator and onto the Skywinder, and he shows no signs of slowing down, but he is caught up on the bottom of that pillar. Okay, but he is able to recover it and get onto the Lagoon Tower. The only aquatic obstacle on the course, you have to get through the jets of water in time into those safe pockets. Jug just barely gets into that second one. 1 more to go. The time you have lessens with each one, but Jug with 20 seconds on the clock into the wall lifting, gets under that second one, third one perfect as well. And Juggenstein, on his first second stage appearance, will move on to the third stage, as Grant, the final runner of stage 2, celebrates beside him. The first of our stage 2 returnees is Dr. Peppers. His first inning on stage 2 didn't go quite so hot. Looking for a bit of redemption on this shulker ladder, which isn't too far away. Using the chains on the broken catwalks to get there. Third shulker, but oh no, he biffs his timing on the shulker ladder and falls just a few shulkers higher than where he fell the benchmark in Tournament 2. What a shame. Swimming through the murky waters, a place he hopes to avoid in his run, is Fox News reporter. In a similar predicament to Dr. Peppers, he fell on the shulker ladder in Tournament 2. He wants to make it further. The big picture here, get to stage 3! What just happened? Fox, no way! Your run can't end like that! Fox, down earlier than we could have ever expected. You just blink and you miss it, but that's how Fox's story will end in Tournament 3. 2/3 of our field have gone on stage 2. 2 rookies and 2 established veterans. And yet, only one is cleared, and it's the newcomer on stage 2. But maybe Jug won't stand alone for too much longer, as our final 2 competitors are some of SM's cream of the crop. Our penultimate run on stage 2 is Beats049, also known as Sawyer. Wants a trip back to stage 3, the first to be shown on the second stage who has made it to stage 3, mind you. And Sawyer quickly through the broken catwalks. Was a little misplaced on the shulker ladder at first, but he's found his way. And now onto a new obstacle, the Skywinder. Moving nicely around the vines, gets very high on that pillar. But oh, it's the 90-degree turn where he feels the gravity of the situation. 35 seconds. Okay. Maybe he just wasn't feeling that cycle. Sawyer going to take a second try at that. A second chance. 25 seconds. Oh, wait! Oh, that was close. Sawyer fell down quite some distance, but Sawyer making up for it on the wall lifting perhaps? He is struggling a little bit, but does have time to play with the klaxon sounds, but not for long. Sawyer is gonna get his return trip to stage 3. And that makes it 1-2 on stage 3. So maybe the outlook isn't so grim for Mr. 50 Perfugi, as he is eyeing up his third ticket to stage 3, which would just be unthinkable. But can he do it? We're about to find out. Going side to side on the broken catwalks. He was very worried about this shulker ladder. Oh, he falls! If he were any higher, that would have been game over. But Grant, okay, not gonna fall into the water on the shulker ladder. Here we go, into the Skywinder goes Grant, and nice jump there. Not gonna get hung up on the bottom, and a nice clean dismount as well. 32 seconds getting into the lagoon tower, and he swims up to the first passage. Second one, much better. Had a bit of trouble on this obstacle last time. It was a little sketchy on that third one, but with 16 seconds, he should be good. Under the second wall, okay, there it is! Grant is going back to stage 3! And with that, he tips the scales 50-50 on stage 2, going into stage 3. Incredible work from Grant. And so our field has been split in half to form 3 competitors. One being someone who's never even been to stage 2 prior to this tournament, and the other 2 being impressive competitors in their own right, making it back to stage 3. But one shared goal between the 3 of them: they are all looking to get a climb for total victory. But ever since Grant made it to the final stage in the last tournament, it has only gotten tougher to get to the end. There's a couple of new obstacles in store for those left at this point, and the ever-present threats in the form of the cliffhanger and the modified pipe slider. But if you get through it all, the final stage will be waiting for you. But as the clock strikes midnight, we are left with just 3 in contention. And amongst those is someone you may not have expected going into this tournament. Someone who only qualified via the Acid Craft Ninja Challenge. Someone who failed on the first obstacle in Tournament 2, but has impressed us all with an incredible run up to the 3rd stage. Give it up for the last newcomer left in this competition, Juggenstein. Jug, I'm not sure he ever expected to quite get this far, but the dream has been realized and Jug is living it. Gotta stay concentrated on the lamp grasper so as to not miss a vital button, your only lifeline in this competition. And he speeds through the curtain swing, but the cliffhanger he can't let up here. The hardest obstacle on the stage, perhaps. But he slips! The first transfer ends Jug's incredible run! The cliffhanger, it can take out anyone, new or old. But Jug just got hit in the crossfire, and that will do him in. Our second competitor on stage 3, already marking the midway point in this small crop of the field. Someone who has made it far on this course in the past. Someone who is looking to take down the cliffhanger and enact revenge on the obstacle that befell him and go beyond. His name is Beats049, also known as Sawyer. Sawyer, here he goes. A little slower through the lamp grasper, but so long as the button doesn't escape your grasp, it's all hunky-dory. The curtain swing, no surprises here, took that down en route to his nemesis, the cliffhanger. This is where the dream can be dashed in a second. He's past where he failed in Tournament 2. Can he get underneath the barrier? Sawyer is under! And he is the second person to take down the cliffhanger. But his work here isn't done yet. He's the first to get onto the propeller bars. You gotta nudge yourself around these iron bars. It's not as simple as you may expect. But Sawyer, looking at the green rest bar. Okay, and there it is. Sawyer, looking at the finishing platform for stage 3. He's nearing the end. Sawyer, sizing up the jump. And he fails. Sawyer comes up short of making it to the final stage. Oh, that's gutting. The final jump. That is as close as you can be, but the final stage slips through his fingers. In a strange sense of deja vu, we return to similar circumstances that we saw in the last tournament. One competitor, the last man standing, at the foot of stage 3. Just like last time, the tournament falls into the hands of Perfugi, formerly known as GrantStudios, the only competitor to make it to the final stage. He did it before when he was in this scenario, but with stage 3 being made ever so harder, can he make lightning strike twice? Grant has the floor, and if he doesn't want the tournament to end on stage 3, then he's gotta make it all the way back to the final stage. The curtain swing? This is what he failed in Tournament 1. Hopefully that's not in the back of his mind, but Grant powers through it just the same. Now, taking a breather prior to the cliffhanger. He's gotta have an iron grip on these ledges, not lose his composure, lest he want it to come crashing down. We have Banna inside the blimp, cheering him on, hoping to see him break through once again. 2 people have gone on this obstacle, one has failed, one has beat it, wants to be on the positive side of the coin. And Grant, past where Jug failed, this final move where 2 people failed in Tournament 2, can Grant get under where he was able to get in Tournament 2? Grant, oh, there it is! The pressure must be unbelievable, but Grant, he looks good so far. Sizing up the propeller bars. Now, this must feel like light work after taking down the cliffhanger. Looks at what lays before him, and he sets off on the propeller bars, taking it carefully, which is the name of the game. That's the way to do it. One more propeller bar. And this jump can be a little awkward, but it's no match for our reigning last man standing. He is looking at the pipe slider. He beat this in Tournament 2, but the final jump has been made harder. Sawyer failed this, coming ever so short of a trip to the final stage. But while Sawyer failed, Grant has an opportunity to seize the moment. Here he goes. Grant, it's now or never. Going down the track. Grant, the final jump. Oh no! The tournament ends on the pipe slider. Grant, just like Sawyer, coming up short of the mark. He was so close, but a final stage just wasn't in the cards for Grant. And thus, SASUKE Minecraft's 3rd tournament finally reaches its conclusion. We saw 50 competitors attempt to brave the elements and take down the 4-stage obstacle course. And while we saw 6 make it through stage 1 and 3 make it through stage 2, we saw no such luck on stage 3, leaving the final stage unattempted once again. And while our competitors were defeated yet again, our efforts to take down the tower shall remain unswayed. Our competitors are down, but they're far from out. If you competed in this tournament, or were watching at home, vying for a slot in the next tournament, let this be a message to you to never give up and put forth the maximum possible effort. If you give the course everything you've got, then maybe, just maybe, it will be you standing at the top of the tower one day. Until the next tournament arises, I have been Objection, and this has been the long-awaited 3rd tournament of Minecraft's ultimate survival attack, SASUKE Minecraft.